What's the deal? You already know what it is. Back in this one, another video to pump out to my young boys, maybe girls. And this is a different video. Right now, I really just want to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. I just seen it, and I can't not make this video my first impressions of the movie. I can't not make this video. If you don't know, big Marvel fan, not an MCU fan, Marvel fan, comics and all. Big on that, real big on that. And you know, I just gotta record on how I'm feeling about this Spider-Man movie, bro. I'm gonna be honest, like, it hasn't even, what I've seen has not even all the way simmered into my bones. Like, I'm kind of in disbelief still on the film. Like it hasn't even soaked into my body what I just witnessed. So I'm gonna just, just give it a brief rundown. This review is gonna have spoilers. It's not really a review. This is just my first thoughts. Like, I'm gonna just get the cons out the way. First act, very much so rushed. I believe, like, people might think I'm crazy for saying this, but I believe that this film deserved to be Endgame length. 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours long. Like, it needed that 4-hour runtime, because in the beginning, I'm like I said, spoilers. In the beginning, they kind of jumped from villain to villain, and they was like kind of, you could tell they was trying to get to something, but you wasn't really sure what until you got there, and you like, okay, this what they wanted to get us to. But I genuinely believe, like, with an Endgame runtime, and they fleshed out each villain in that first half when they was introducing them, and Spider-Man was going out to each spot to grab them up, that would have been great. That would have been a journey in itself, and it would have made the play out of them, like, kind of flipping on them, and the point where the other characters get introduced, it'll make it, it'll all pay out a little bit better. It felt like they just wanted us to get to that grand moment where, Toby and Andrew are in the film, they come back. That was also a little bit rushed. I feel like they could have handled that a little better. But it was just like, it was the fact that they was on the screen. It was like, damn. Yeah, they just rushed to get to this point, but it's like, you can't even, like, it's such a, like, when you care about these characters so much, it's something that is just like, it just hits your body on a way where it's like, wow, this is really on my screen right now. Like, I was in the theater, I couldn't process what I was looking at the whole time. It was so jarring seeing these characters all on the same screen, talking to each other, interacting with each other. The interactions was so fan servicey on point. They was talking about Toby shooting the webs out of his body. They was asking him questions about that. He like, y'all making fun of me? Like, what's going on here? Like, they played on the fact Andrew was like kind of like the black sheep of, is that the right terminology? The black sheep when it comes to, the Spider-Man of the three. Like, people usually hate on Andrew and all that type of stuff. They played on all of that. And Toby telling him, like, bro, you're amazing. Like, you straight. And Andrew like, nah, y'all way better than me. I'm lame. And all this stuff. It's just crazy. It's just, seeing this stuff is so crazy to my brain. It couldn't bro, this didn't seem real. Like, the whole time I was looking at this, I'm like, is this real? Like, is this really happening on my screen? These people that was just crazy, bro. And, the villains, Willem Dafoe killed it. I actually really, really, really like Jamie Foxx in this one. He had some of the best lines, the sweetest moments. They super redeemed Electro in this movie. And, man, it's like this movie just seemed like, as much as I really liked, the whole, the aspect of Toby and Andrew being involved in all of this stuff. And it was like, seeing them do what they do together, it was like, as much as I like that, I really, really, really like how this movie kind of was like a big middle finger to all of the Tom Holland naysayers, like the people that just really hate Tom Holland Spider-Man. Call him Iron Boy Jr. He ain't went through nothing. Like, all of the stuff that people say about Tom, this movie was like a big middle finger to them, bro. And since this is a spoiler, you know, going over, I'm gonna just say, you know, Aunt May dies, and she hits him with the great power comes great responsibility speech that everybody been on Disney head for not including. But it's like, my whole time I'm seeing all these people hate on Tom for all of this stuff. I'm like, do they realize he's like a little kid and this stuff can all like change through time, like change over time? Like, he still has so much room for development. Everybody jumping the gun and want him to be goated instantly. Like the Amazing Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man trilogy, that was stuff that was like, this, I feel like Disney understands that Tom Holland Spider-Man has the potential to go way longer than those films did. So it's like they not rushing into getting him on their level, you know, when it comes to character development. And this movie is like a sign of this is it when it comes to Tom. This movie basically was a middle finger to everybody because it went over all of, they was like, he's Iron Boy Jr. This movie, bro, I'm gonna just get to what happens. So basically, you know, as we seen, Aunt May gives him the great power comes great responsibility speech, and Toby and Andrew tells him like, bro, like, cause Tom wants to give up, and they telling him like, bro, when we heard that, that was our call. That was our calling to really get into this Spider-Man stuff for real. And that was Tom's calling. Like, Aunt May dying is literally his calling. They basically just told us everything prior to this was literally like Spider-Man beta, we'll say. Like, this was his beta phase. He was literally just now, he was in this, but he wasn't really in this. And now he's Spider-Man now. Like, before this, he was Iron Boy. Let's just keep it a bang. He was Iron Boy, all of the stuff that people want to say about Tom Holland Spider-Man before. But he got his speech. He, as we saying, he lost his identity. He completely on his own, no tech. Made his own suit. People was hamming Tom for this. He made his own suit at the end of the movie, bro. He has no identity. He lives on his own. He made his own suit. He got the great power, great responsibility speech. He's Spider-Man for real now. Like, this movie is literally like, No Way Home is literally the movie that gave us, that is officially giving us, he made a classic suit too. None of the tech. He's literally on his own. He's a fresh start. This is literally a fresh start. And with this movie, No Way Home, the No Way Home part is essentially Spider-Man leaving the MCU. So basically, like we seen, like I'm assuming y'all seen it if you watching this spoilers. Like we seen, everybody in the MCU forgets who Tom Holland is. They forget Peter is Spider-Man. They don't, not even Peter is Spider-Man. They forget Peter entirely. And Peter is off the grid. I ain't gonna say off the grid, but you know, he has no identity now. Like, he has no ties to the MCU. And I feel like that's what we kind of needed. Like, we wanted to see Spider-Man interact with other Marvel characters and all of that stuff when we was watching the original trilogy and Amazing, the 2 movies. But I feel like we got our feel with the MCU Spider-Man stuff, and it's like, now we back to the basics. This is just, I believe Sony got it's like the deal is up, and Sony is like taking more control over Spider-Man, and they about to start ushering him into their universe with their characters that they've been building up and making these movies for. Like Morbius is supposed to be a Black Cat one, and Kraven, all sorts of stuff coming, and Venom and all of that. Like, they're about to start ushering in these characters into this new Spider-Man that we got. He's technically not new, but at the same time, he is new. You feel me? Like, whole square one new Spider-Man, bro. Like, this is crazy. Like, this movie was, like, honestly crazy. Even with the flaws, that I genuinely believe the flaws is like, the first half is very rushed. It's like the movie really could have been 4 hours long. It should have been that end game length. Like, this was a very big deal. And it kind of like the pacing, but it was like, this stuff means so much to me. Like, as I was just riding, I'm like, bro, like, I feel a void, like that void in your chest when you lose. Like, you just want more. Like, I want more of that, bro. Like, it was so crazy seeing them on the screen together, bro. Like, my brain still has not soaked that in. Like, I cannot believe that's what I just witnessed. They was fighting together, joking together, chemistry on point. Like, they was like brothers, and it was crazy. Like, it was so, because then it's like, dog, the fans sit up there and make this great divide between them. Like, that's why it's so, the fans like to make these wars and do these great divides between these three Spider-Men and all that stuff. And then they link up together and they like bros. Like, they talking about they love each other and hugging and all this stuff. I'm like, dog, it's just crazy, bro. Like, and I'm probably gonna run out of space in a minute, so I'm gonna just stop the video now, bro. This is like my initial reaction, bro. As you can see, like, I'm all over the place. Like, I can't even, man, bro, this movie was crazy, bro. Like, I cannot believe that's what I witnessed, bro. But that's pretty much it, bro. That's my first reaction to this. I'm gonna watch this movie some more, and I really wish I had all my equipment together, because I want to make a real review. Like, I damn near might make a documentary on this movie down the line. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I might make one of them long video docs on this movie, bro, because I feel like that's something I really want to do. That's a project I'm really gonna put on my plate, to really break this movie down, because, like, I need to absorb every ounce of this film, bro, because this movie was crazy. I'm gonna watch this a couple more times, and I'm gonna really hit y'all with a real review. But this is just like, oh, y'all, it did exactly what I said it was gonna do. But that's pretty much it, bro. I'm gonna really get a real review out on y'all down the line, and I promise that. But for now, that's it, bro. This MCU stuff, then the post-credit scene, we about to get symbiote Spider. Like, bro, they're literally keeping us in this loop. Like, I was just talking about how we're really slaves to Disney, honestly, because they keeping us in this chronic loop. Nas, Doctor Strange, they hyping up. Then we see Doctor Strange is gonna be we're gonna be in this forever. Like, we're literally slaves to Disney at this point. I wonder when this is gonna end, but that's the topic for another day. Love y'all, take care, stay safe. I'm on y'all boys.
This that reality shit.